Hi, Kiwi! Alright, well, you've probably seen the title of this episode, and you've certainly seen me grinding this out, but today is the day, I promise. I am going to beat Pantheon 2, all bindings. All bindings. There we go. Okay, anyway, so I have been grinding this out a whole lot off camera, and, I mean, the last Pantheon all bindings kind of took forever. In terms of the actual episode I uploaded, it was an hour long. I probably should have just made it the actual first attempt. But we'll see how today goes. If the recordings are okay, maybe I'll include my first 1 or 2 attempts at it like I did before. Anyway, so my strategy for Markov is kind of just following him around and getting in charged attacks, but most importantly, Soul Shrieks. The trick to reliably hitting him with Soul Shrieks is you want to be a little bit ahead of the direction he's traveling in, because then he'll keep trying to travel in that direction instead of getting bounced to the side. Like, you'll see occasionally when I use Soul Shriek, he just kind of gets shot all the way out of the way, but if you can predict which direction he's traveling, you can reliably get a good couple hits with Soul Shriek. And Crystal Guardian, as I've shown in my previous runs, is kind of a joke of a boss. If I wasn't being greedy for healing here, that was a mistake. But basically, whenever he starts charging up a laser, dash through him, and here's your chance to heal for free. And then just keep dashing through him. I find that the charged spin slash is also very effective against him, because you can get so many hits on him for free. But literally, the entire strategy to this boss is smack him, and when he moves, dash through him. And that's really all it boils down to. If you get too greedy with the spin attack, you can get punished for it. Also, fun fact, if you stand close enough to him, you can use your Soul Shriek like that, and also do a ton of damage. And I like to do that when I have a faster soul regeneration. For the Soul Master, if you get him early, you can get a couple hits before he teleports, including a fully charged, all 4 hits of Soul Shriek. So it's pretty solid. In general, this isn't a boss that I find terribly difficult, just very time-wasty, and you know my opinion on time-waster bosses, they're not fun. That's why I kind of figured out a little bit of a funny strategy to optimize dealing with him, which you'll see when we get to his end phase. It's pretty funny what I do to this poor guy, at least if I can pull it off. But generally speaking, I find the spin slash a little bit hard to pull off on him, not impossible, but with how fast he teleports around when he gets hit by like a single strike, it's generally better to just charge up your charge slash and use that. Forgive me if I'm getting names wrong on this, I don't remember any of them. Also, an important thing to note is if you wait too long to hit him after he staggers, he will always go into his next attack phase, but if you hit him as soon as he staggers, he will not. Which in other words means you can pretty reliably hit him with a Abyss Shriek if you catch him and use it as soon as he gets staggered. And that just does a whole lot of damage. Alright, so I'm going to heal here, and now take a peek at what I'm going to attempt to do here and hopefully pull off. Alright, so charge up a charge slash, and then turn around, and basically what I do is I jump, I dash away, and then I turn, and then let out the charge slash, and you can actually clip him with it. It's pretty funny, and I have in previous attempts killed him in the middle of that. I find that as long as I have full soul, which I do, I've unfortunately given myself a bit of a poor chance of having, using a Abyss Shriek there, you can zero cycle him. I'm getting a little greedy here for these hits, but it's fine. Definitely kind of botched this phase. I can often zero cycle him, but I just played really poorly. And we're going into the next fight with 1 less health, but I'm not too worried because I believe the next fight is the Mantis Lords. Yeah, oh, sorry, the All Blobbles. The All Blobbles, rather, the Mantis Lords are after these guys. I was having a moment. My strategy for these guys, as you can see, is Spin Strike. The spin attack just melts them, and so what I try to do is I alternate Spin Strike and Abyss Shriek, and that just melts through their HP really fast. As to whether it's better to kill one or one at a time, or get one really low and then kill the other, I kind of favor the latter, where I kill them, I get them both really low, but based on how it's played out for me, I find that I actually end up tending to play a lot better if I just kill one on the outset. I don't know, I for some reason, these stupid little orange potatoes they shoot, I'm just so prone to jumping right into them when I have no reason not to dodge them. Like, you can see in this here, I was kind of trying to not kill them asynchronously, but it's honestly for the best. That other one just got right in range of the spin attack, and I wanted to get the damage off. These guys are pretty reliably easy to heal against as long as you kind of get their timing down. Basically, as soon as they're done shooting their potatoes, that's your cue to heal. But if you wait too long, then you're kind of in a... Oh gosh, I'm throwing. you're in a bad spot. Oh, I don't know. Honestly, out of all of the bosses, the ones that I have the hardest time on are, I guess one was Marmu, although I very much figured out how to deal with Marmu, and then Marmu became a cakewalk because of that realization. But for some reason, the Oblobbles gave me far more trouble than I strictly think they deserve to give. And I know, Kiwi, for you, they're one of your least favorite bosses, so maybe that's being disingenuous to what they are, but like, I'm taking so much more damage here than I strictly need to, and it's entirely my fault too, which is the frustrating bit. Like, I could play a lot safer or a lot more consistent, and here, okay, well, we got him. I just wanted to get rid of him as quick as possible, I suppose. And Nosk was a problem when I first fought it, but I kind of figured out how to play it afterwards. Now, Mantis Lords is not a location I should lose at ever, because I can pretty reliably, their attacks are so well, honestly, Mantis Lords is one of my favorite boss fights because they're just so well telegraphed. They only have like 3 or 4 attacks, and they all give you ample time to react. And even when you're fighting all 3 of them at the same time with the like enhanced Mantis Lord fight from the final Pantheon, it feels so rewarding to just play this fight well. And it feels relatively easy to be consistent at, again, because all of the moves are super well telegraphed and easy to kind of like respond to. What I will say is that if they're on the wall, you can pretty reliably get an Abyss Streak against them. I don't do it often enough, but you can see me do it here. I do it. When I can, I try to get the cheeky Abyss Streak in. The other thing I try to do is when they do their aerial attack, where they start in the air and then dash downwards to like stab you with the plunge, I try to charge up for a charge slash. Now, here's one of the things that always bugs me about these guys is that I start charging up an attack and I'm like ready to hit them, and then they just start spamming their wall hop or their wall projectile. It's always annoying, but like that last pattern, for example, is where I like to try and charge up a spin slash because I can get so many hits and so much damage. The spin slash, I don't know its actual damage calculation, but it does so much damage. It really does. And the other thing to keep in mind is after this we do have a resting chamber, so it's a pretty easy, it's honestly probably better to DPS over heal unless you start to get low, and their projectiles are pretty reliable to heal against, particularly when you're still fighting 2 at once. When they're both on the wall, they can, but very rarely will be able to hit you if you stand in the dead center of the stage and start healing. You can usually get a heal away for free. Also, fun little fact, if you fall into the spikes as you're loading into the next stage, you don't take damage. And now you know. Anyway, here's where things get a little bit trickier for me. So Marmu, I kind of figured out the trick to Marmu, and it is Charge Slash. If you charge up your Charge Slash, he can't really touch you, but you need to learn the timing. The other thing is, I've also realized he never tries to hit you on his first attack. Or, okay, he rarely tries to hit you, as long as you're not moving. If you move, he homes a little bit, but, like, I'll try and show it if I can get away with it, but generally my strategy for Generally my strategy for Marmu, once you get the pattern down, is to just, it's a rhythm game almost, which you know I'm bad at rhythm games, Kiwi. But, see right there, he started directly above me, but he aimed to the right. I didn't move, and he missed me. And so you can end up getting some pretty easy free heals against Marmu, as long as you're focusing on not moving on the first attack. And then it's just playing a rhythm game, which again, I'm inherently bad at. I do not use Abyss Shriek here because it makes him just like bounce completely unpredictably, and it's just too risky. But there we go, Marmu's taken care of. And now, I will say, Nosk has been a bit of a gatekeeper for me in the last couple runs, mostly because I just haven't fought him very much at all, so I've kind of forgotten his patterns, but I think the best strategy for Nosk is to probably, oh no, what am I doing? Wow. Well, I guess we're not getting it on the first try. That would have been too good of me. But we're not over yet. We're gonna try again. I am going to beat this Pantheon today, I promise. And if this video is uploaded, then you know how this next run is gonna go. If it's not, then I'll probably restart the recording, honestly, because man, I have been grinding these out for a while. But yeah, see, my best recommendation for dealing with this guy is a combination of charge slashes and spamming Abyss Shriek. And he's honestly surprisingly easy to heal against. I know that might sound weird, but if you just sidestep one of his projectiles and then heal immediately, especially in the first half of his phase, in the first half of the fight, he will never be able to hit you before you can dodge out of the way from his next attack. And honestly, it still kind of applies to his second phase as well. The attack rate is definitely faster, but I still feel like I can get away with it pretty easily. So once again, the strategy for Crystal Guardian is smack, and when you see a move, dodge to the other side, and then you get a free heal. The timing is a little bit more tight than I would like. If you hesitate to heal, you need to heal immediately upon crossing his boundary. And here I decided to go for the spin attack over the heal, just because, or over the not getting hit, I suppose. So it does so much damage. And the thing about the all-binding Pantheons isn't necessarily that they're hard, and my goodness, yes, they are hard. I'm not discrediting that. It's just that there's such time, they take so long. Like, a single Pantheon takes at least 20 minutes to beat, maybe 15 if I'm really optimized. So it's rough. You can see that I will try and weave in as many Abyss Streaks as I can. And again, the thing to note about this guy in particular is when he staggers, you can pretty reliably, pardon me, I've gotten the hiccups. You can pretty reliably get at least an extra hit against him before he teleports away. Of course, if you need to heal, obviously heal. Definitely taking more damage against him than I would like. But always, if you can, like the last stagger before the one that we just saw, he kind of gimmicked me by being super elevated, so I didn't feel comfortable in charging up a charge slash and expecting it to hit, but there I did. Alright, let's see if I can zero cycle him this time. Last time was fairly botched, but what an over-the-top death, though, I swear. I've tested this out, and I found that the charge slash doesn't seem to reliably hit him when he does his first of these. I was getting ready for him to teleport above me. Oh well. We're just gonna wail on him. I don't think I'm zero cycling this, unfortunately. Wow, I'm taking far more damage. Wow, I threw again. Huh. Alright, I got super greedy. Huh. Well, let's try one more time. Since that was a quick death, I guess. Let's see if we can get... At least, if nothing else, I can prove to you that I have grinded out these first couple bosses and know their patterns really well. Maybe I'm just... Oh my goodness, Kiwi, I am tilted. I'm not gonna let this run die, though. I might let this run die, Kiwi. See, so here's an example of how you can pretty reliably heal against Markoth. Just sidestep his first attack. And he often misses, too, if you're, like, at the right angle. I wouldn't count on that as a reliable way to get around his attacks, but yeah. Sidestep his first attack and then just heal, and it's easy, and it's free. Also, when he switches phases and summons his second set of swords, he does not get staggered by anything, so you can get an Abyss Streak on him very reliably and get all 4 hits off. Very worth mentioning. But once he's in second phase, I tend to prioritize killing him over healing, just because the Crystal Guardian is so easy to reliably heal against. Okay, I can do this. Smack, smack, smack. Come on, give me your... Ugh. Well, I got greedy for that heal, and I was immediately punished. At least we are... Again, this boss is super easy to heal against. Just focus on dodging his lasers from the air. And honestly, you generally have enough time to heal even if he's summoning the lasers from above. I just find it much more consistent to try and heal from after he does his horizontal laser attack, which he is really not trying to give us, but there we go. Okay, now we're back up to full health. The run isn't any more dead than it was before. Finishing off with the fancy spin, and then we dash into the future. Away! Well, okay. So here's an example where I'll probably use a Abyss Streak if I can get away with it. Okay, so because I used the attack first, he didn't get hit by all 4 hits, but trust me when I say if you like go for the Abyss Streak immediately, you can get all the hits off. And see, that's another example. If you use Abyss Streak immediately when he staggers, you will get all 4 hits. He won't teleport away because there's a bit of an animation that he plays before he teleports away. Here's kind of an awkward situation where, again, it would be probably time-consuming to get to him enough to use the charge slash, so I just did the base attack. One thing that's worth noting is when he does his little dash across the stage, I've found that you can get a pretty reliable multi-hit on your soul shot, or whatever your neutral B is called. where you hit him and then you fire off the soul shot, and he travels along with it, so he gets hit by it pretty consistently at least twice. As long as the soul shot, you're not using it like right by the edge of the stage. Anyway, we're gonna beat it this time, I promise. Let's see if we can zero cycle him. Last time was pretty badly botched. Yeah, so there I tried to test it again. So Abyss Shriek didn't do any damage to him either. So I'm pretty sure he is invulnerable on his first dash into the area. All right, I'm going super greedy for damage here, which is probably, oh man, we're having a repeat of the last run, aren't we? I was mad, okay, I was mad, but at least we kill him. So I should emphasize the first dash, he's only invulnerable when he starts his gimmick. And when he does it again after that, it's fine. I'm gonna just desperately try to generate as much soul and not get hit here. Okay, whoop. Okay, we're good. Healing? Okay. And that's probably all I need because it's super easy to generate soul if you just use the spin slash reliably. I am definitely trying to throw here. One thing I will very strongly recommend is never get caught in the middle of the oblobbles if you can avoid it, because that is the easiest way to have a horrible time dodging all of their attacks and reliably not dying. I should probably focus on healing here instead of trying to squeeze out damage where I can. I'm in a really icky spot. And he's gonna bounce right into me. Oh my goodness. Unlucky. Kiwi, I'm throwing. I promise I can do this. I can do this. I haven't even shown you all the other bosses. I need to show you, compared to all of the bosses on the way, I genuinely believe that, what is it, Nailmaster? I think it's Shio? Yeah, it's Shio. I have such an easier time against Shio compared to all the other Nailmasters, for whatever reason. I guess I ended up deciding to just wipe one out again. I think, honestly, like, you still need good reaction time to evade some of the attacks, but maybe I am just more consistent if there's only one to have to worry about, because they do bounce into each other, and I find that if they desync from each other, it's much harder to find a time to heal. So yeah, I suppose maybe killing Kiwi, I think you're right. This was Kiwi's stance, that killing one first and then focusing on the other makes the battle easier. I do actually think she's right, at least for my playstyle. Again, as long as I'm staying above maybe as long as I'm staying above 3 health, I don't think I have to be super aggressive with healing here, because the Mantis Lord, wow, I am dashing the wrong way. The Mantis Lords are pretty consistent in terms of getting healing when I need. Like, I feel like, again, the Mantis Lords are just such a wonderful and relatively consistent early game boss. Like, they're probably one of my favorites in terms of design and how they play, because it's just so satisfying once you get the rhythm going for how you beat them. It's just so very satisfying. So here we're just gonna get, I've also discovered pretty reliably, like, if you use the charge slash, most enemies won't teleport away until you can get a second hit in. So always try and squeeze out that little bit of extra damage where possible. I'm gonna take the heal here, and then I can spin slash. So I think overall, if you can get at least 3 hits of the spin slash, you net more damage than if you had done a charge slash. I could be mistaken, and again, I don't fully know the damage calculations, but I believe that is what it works out to. I guess when accounting for that cheeky extra hit I can get with the charge slash, maybe that's not worth it. But I'd have to crunch the numbers, and I have no interest in doing so. At the end of the day, I'm just here to be spinning fancy on these bosses, you know, Kiwi? Alright, but here we go. We're getting into the, I was gonna say we were getting into the flow state, but the most important thing to deal with the Mantis Lords is to not heal. Wow, why did I do that? Don't heal until they go on to their wall attack. And when they do their wall attack, go straight for the center and start healing like this, and you should pretty reliably have a free heal at all times. Like, they have very well telegraphed moves, they give you a lot of openings for landing attacks, and they give you a lot of openings for healing. And see, so there is a move where those go a little bit lower, and I don't know what triggers it, and I have to acknowledge that that's the one time that move consistently hits me in the center. But generally speaking, when they use their double discs from each side of the wall, they do not reliably hit you. Anyway, back to DPSing. Okay, there's one. Use my Soul Shriek for all the good damage. Yeah, I'd say in terms of priority for damage, spin attack, Soul Shriek, charge slash, and then whatever else you can get. I really don't use Soul Dive defensively here very much. I feel like if I'm gonna use my soul, it's either for healing or for DPSing with Soul Shriek. Alright, here's my redemption arc against Marmu. So Okay, I have been redeemed, right? But see, you can let's count the number of times that when he spawns, he's going to hit me. It looked like that one would have hit me. This one did not, but I dashed because I was nervous. He only would have hit me there because I dashed into him, but he would have missed my starting location. So yeah, treat Marmu as effectively a rhythm game. Just time your slashes with him. He has a relatively low HP pool relative to the other enemies. When he starts making that sound, I believe he's about halfway dead. I could be mistaken about that. But yeah, when he teleports, you can pretty comfortably heal for free. The most important thing to know is when you're using the charge slash, you need to let it out early, because if Marmu gets too much distance, he will hit you with his momentum regardless of whether you were charging correctly. Furthermore, if he starts at a horizontal angle to you, he will probably still hit you rather than bouncing over you, just because the angle is too low to the ground. So if he goes horizontal relative to the ground, if he's close to the ground, that's probably the one instance where I cannot reliably get my damage off. Now, the other thing I realized about Nosk that I didn't really show in my last attempt because I really blew it badly, is he's pretty easily reliable to hit with your charged attacks. Particularly, I found that it's really easy to get multiple hits of the spin slash off on him. I probably should have used that soul for healing, but it's fine. I think the best strategy for dealing with Nosk is to just play it safe and slow. It's really unsatisfying, but it will keep you alive and it will win the fight. I do find that the corner at the base of his stage here is pretty reliable for safety, but not not unabashedly reliable. It's not 100% reliable is what I'm trying to say. Like, you can still get hit by his projectiles, but he can't hit you when he goes running off the stage. My favorite strategy here is when he does his in the air attack, or when he's crawling around on the ceiling dropping things on you, if you pay attention to where the little puffs of dust come from the sky, you can pretty reliably predict where he's going to land when he respawns. So watch here. So you can see where he is relative to you because of the dust cloud above you. So I see he's going to stop right about there, and he announces it with his little screech as well. So you can pretty reliably know when he's going to stop moving, when he's going to fall down, and then you can get a whole bunch of spin slash damage off on him as a result of it. So once again, my strategy for this is go one direction and then go the other. Wow, what a creative strategy, right? But it works pretty reliably for keeping me alive. And then I find overall the best strategy for dealing with Nosk is to just get your charge slash off. Quick spin slash if you can feel fancy about it, like here. And there we go. That was overall a pretty clean Nosk fight, especially compared to the one we had 2 runs ago. Whew, alright. Okay, now for my favorite boss of the entire Pantheon, because we're going to absolutely demolish his HP pool. All you have to do is pay attention to his little things that die in one hit, and then if they come charging at you, spin slash one-shots them as well. So basically all you're going to do is spin slash and then Abyss Shriek, and there's Fluke Marm. One of the easiest bosses in the game if you optimize your DPS. And then Broken Vessel is very similar to Crystal Guardian to me insofar as there are so many opportunities for free damage, and literally all you need to do is when he moves, you dash through him. If you just keep wailing on him and then you see him move, dash. And you will dash through pretty much every attack he has. I get greedy because I want to use the spin slash for faster damage because frankly, I approach these fights like a speedrunner. Clearly, I'm not actually speedrunning, but I am very much playing on a high risk, high reward sort of mindset. I would probably argue that it's better to kind of avoid the damage on that move rather than going melee distance and trying to kill, but we know how I play. We were just describing how I play for that matter. Also, if you can get him in the corner reliably, it's so easy to get a ton of damage on the spin slash with him here. I don't know. You just have to avoid his lava spaghettios. Or are they little eggs? Maybe they're little parasite eggs. I could believe that. I've seen some parasite eggs that look that way. Couldn't name what they were. I'm not great at parasitology, to be honest. My apologies, Dr. Bowman. Your lectures were a lot. Alright, there we go. Full HP? Or, yeah, full masks? I don't know. We'll call it HP, like it matters. I forget who's next. Oh, okay. That's the final fight before Shio. Okay. Now, Shio, I genuinely consider a relatively consistent and easy boss that emphasizes good positioning. Basically, the strategy I have for him is charge up quick slash it, or charge up your charge slash at all times, and just learn the colors of his paintbrush. Purple is free damage as long as you stay away. Red is... Basically, all of his attacks kind of have an AoE after effect. There's the base slash. Wow, that dodge was like super tight. Basically, all of his attacks have a predictable AoE for where they're going to hit. So if you know what color he's using, he telegraphs his attacks incredibly well. He's another, honestly, I would call him another very good learning and early game boss. I know you don't necessarily fight him in the early game, but I think overall he is very consistent in telling you what he's going to do and then doing it in a predictable and consistent manner. Like the positioning for dodging the red attack, for example, is, whoa, I think I dodged that with the dash. I actually dodged the paintbrush attack and just got hit by his body there. That was cool. But basically, the charge slash lets you space on him much easier, so you don't have to get super close and potentially get clipped by his blue attack. And then it's just really a matter of just kind of slow and steady. Whew, barely outspaced that one, I think. Just keep in mind that the orange paintbrush has a very long range and you should not underestimate it, because you'll probably get punished for it. The red paint is probably the only one that he doesn't really like super easily telegraph for you, but he jumps into the air, so it telegraphs that way rather than looking at the color of his paintbrush. I'm calling that last attack purple rather than red. Or maybe it's magenta. Or fuchsia, I don't know. But yeah. This is effectively just a war of attrition. Play consistent. Oh my goodness, that parry was so fancy. That, I swear that was intentional. It definitely was not. But it always feels so good to pull off a meaningful parry. Okay, whoop, okay. So, we've staggered him 3 times now, which means we should be relatively close to beating him now. Oh dear, I timed that dash wrong. I probably could have still dodged that. Oh, I chose the wrong place to heal. This isn't great. Oh, I'm throwing Kiwi. Come on, we're so close. Let's not throw it here. I'm not gonna, like I said, don't underestimate the distance that attack can travel. Now just make sure I don't get hit here and die in the last second. We did it. Bow to your master. And there we go, Kiwi. Pantheon 2. We did it. Pantheon 2 complete in, let's see how many, was that like 15 minutes? Yeah, 15 minutes on Pantheon 2, not bad, all bindings complete. And now we get to do Pantheon 3, which is gonna be fundamentally and substantially harder, but hey, we did it, Kiwi. So with all that said, another victory in the bag. I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and eventually, Pantheon 3, all bindings. See you in the next one.